Hi, we are getting ready to talk about lesson 2 from unit 3, and I wanted to do just a little bit of activity with you to get you in the mindset of what we're going to be talking about today. Yesterday, we talked about groups of objects, and we talked about groups of objects from 1 to 10. We colored those groups of objects different colors to represent different groups, and we also talked a little bit about how those partners work together to make a different number. Then we did a little bit of addition and subtraction and did some stories that went along with those addition and subtraction problems and wrote expressions and equations to show what we were learning with our picture. Well, today it's a little bit different because today we are not going to do any addition and subtraction stories, but we are going to talk about counting groups of objects, which is one of our essential standards or one of our power standards. And so sometimes when we're counting, you'll notice that we have to use different strategies. Let me show you some. Here is a group of objects, and I'm just going to arrange them kind of in a circle so that you can see them. It's not going to be quite a perfect circle, but I'm going to arrange them kind of like that, okay? All right, yours at home, you can use different kinds of objects that you have around the house if you want to do this along with me. Or today you can just follow along with me as I move my manipulatives around so that we can learn together. So here's my circle of objects just like this. I'm curious how many I have. So let's touch and count together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh-oh, I don't remember. Did I count this one already? I think I did, but I don't know. That's kind of a problem when I'm counting. I wonder if there's a strategy that I could use that would make this a little bit easier so that I don't forget where I started counting and where I need to stop counting, and I actually count the right number of objects. Think in your self-talk about what maybe you could do, what's a strategy that you could use to count these groups of objects. We can touch and count them, but we tried that and that wasn't very successful. I wonder if there's a way that we could rearrange these so that they would be easier to count. Oh, you know what? One of my kindergarten friends shared a really good strategy with me today. This is what she did. She said, Mrs. Jolliffe, if you pull one of the pieces out and move it, then when you get to the gap, you would know that you don't need to keep counting. So we're going to start over here and count, starting here, and then we'll go around the circle. And then when we get to this last one, we're going to know that we need to stop because there's a space right here. Okay, let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a really great strategy. We can find that there are 10 because we know where to start and where to stop, and we don't want to keep going around and around in the circle. That's a great strategy. Another great strategy that one of my friends told me today is that because these counters have two colors, one color on each side, you could flip one over to know where to start and where to stop. So we'll start on the red one and we'll end on the yellow one. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. That was a great strategy. I'm just going to grab a few more and we're going to add them with. And I want to show you something really cool that we're going to practice on our worksheet today. I have a whole bunch of objects that look like this. Well, that's kind of hard to count because they're not in rows, they're not in columns, they're kind of just in a big blob, just like that. Well, in the past, we've talked about how you can regroup objects in order for it to be easier for you to count them. And we did something that looks like this. Let's see if you remember this. Oops. Ooh, this kind of looks familiar. Think about this really quick. And I want you to say out loud, what is this group? You're right, it's a 5 group. And we've seen 5 groups in a lot of ways. We've seen 5 groups with polka dots like this. We've seen 5 groups that have dots that are blue on a strip. We've seen 5 groups that were in a stick. So it had 5 little squares that were all hooked together, and that was a 5 group. We've seen a 5 group that was a nickel. That was really cool because it represents 5. Even though it's only one coin, it represents 5 cents. So it's a 5 group. So we've used 5 groups a lot. But you know what? I have a lot left over here. So I wonder if we could find another way to regroup so that it would be a little bit easier. So far we have 5. I think it'd be really cool if we made another 5 group. Ooh, this is a tricky question I'm going to ask you. If I have a 5 group and another 5 group, how many is that all together? You're right, it's 10. 5 and 5 more is 10. Way to go, kindergarten. So we have 5 plus 5, which is 10. It's a 10 group. How cool is that? So right now we have 2 5 groups. If you add them together, they make 10. But over here, I have a new 10 group that looks like this. So I can either put both 5 groups next to each other like this, or I can stack them. So there's 5 on top and little space, and then 5 on bottom, which makes 10. How cool is that? What a cool new trick that we learned today in math. Well, we have 5 and 5, which is 10, but we have some more over here. I'm going to flip them over so that we can easily see how many that is. You'll remember that in our math meeting in the morning, we've been doing 10 and some more. So it sounds like this. 10 and 1 more is 11. 10 and 2 more is 12. 10 and 3 more is 13. 10 and 4 more is 14. And we keep going all the way up until we get to 20. So I'm wondering if I have 10 and 5 more, how many is that? Yes, 15. I don't have to count all of those because I know that this is 10, and then 5 more is 15. All right, close your eyes. I'm going to try to do another one, and I want to see if you can tell me how many it is. And open. How many is there now? How many are there on the board? You're right, there are 17, and we can count that really easily because we know that this is a 10 group, so we don't have to count every single one of those. We already know that that's 10 because 5 and 5 is 10, so we have 10, and then we already know that 5 and 2 more is 7. So 10 and 7 more is 17. Way to go. All right, I'm going to do just a couple more for you. How many is that? You're right, 19. 10 and 9 more is 19. Okay, close your eyes. Here comes another one. And open. How many is there? You're right, there are 13. 10 and 3 more is 13. Way to go! You can practice this some more at home if you'd like to, using your own counters, and I would love to see you using your counters into groups of 5 or groups of 10 to help make your counting a little bit easier. Before I let you go, I'm going to show you what ours look like today on our worksheet because I don't want you to miss out on what we were working on. On the front, you'll see there's this cute little bug, and that we call 10Bug. 10Bug came to talk to us today in math about groups of 10 and how much fun it is to count using groups of 10. So go ahead and start at 1 on this side and go all the way around until you get to the 20, and then you get to color the 10Bug red. Super fun. On the back, this is where it gets really cool. On the back, you get to mark 10 objects and then circle that group of 10, and then you get to find out how many are in each box with 10 and some more. This one was kind of tricky for us at school because we forgot that when we're marking groups of objects, we have to mark them in rows. And so this one was a little bit tricky for us today. I know you're going to do awesome, and I'm going to show you just one example of what that should look like, okay? Let me grab my paper. Okay, in class, what we did is we started over here, and so I marked only 10 objects. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now these 3 did not get marked, so they do not get to go in the circle. So I'm going to circle around the group of objects that I marked, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I marked 10, and now I only circle the ones that have a marker on them. I don't circle the 2 on the bottom. They don't get to go in the ring, only the ones that are marked. Let's do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I marked 10. Now I circle that group that I marked, only the ones that I marked, and this guy does not get to go in. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The ones that do not have a mark do not get to go in the circle. So I only circle the ones that are marked just like that. Now it makes it really easy for us to know how many there are in each box. 10 and 3 more is 13. So up here it says that you're going to color all of the objects in this box that had 13 orange. So all those hearts are going to be orange. This one has 10 and 2 more. 10 and 2 more is 12. So you're going to color this box, this group of objects in this box, blue. Okay, go ahead and follow the other coloring rules for the other 2 boxes and complete that work. Bring it back to class with you when you come back. See you soon.